We used to watch movies of robots and machines attacking the planet, invading the planet, people trying to fight back humanity, trying to survive and trying to defeat these machines. But it was a far-fetched idea. We thought it was impossible. But today, we might need to think again. This idea of machines and robots having that power and the ability to operate on their own to invade and attack countries or the planet. It was definitely a far-fetched idea 10 years ago, but today in 2025, with robotics and artificial intelligence, and let's take a look of this little video.
A massive drone, larger than even a typical fighter jet, is positioned on a tarmac in the background, with Kim Jong-un observing it closely as it takes flight. These are just some of the visuals of North Korea showcasing its latest military might. And that's not all. During the demonstration, North Korea also showcased its upgraded reconnaissance drones, capable of identifying tactical targets and monitoring enemy activities both on land and at sea, to bolster their military's surveillance and combat capabilities. North Korea's ambitions extend beyond drones.
So this gets you thinking, okay, this is actually possible to create drones and robots that can actually be used for military purposes to attack other countries. So these drones and robots can be powered by artificial intelligence, which allows the one who is intending to use them to just deploy them and let them do their thing. They can change course on their own, they can follow the target, and they can do their own thing. Imagine a scenario where millions of drones and millions of robots shows up at your shores and starts devouring your population. I thought it was a mystery when we were watching it in movies. Maybe they were actually showing us the reality which was gonna come in the future. And looking at the world today, it is actually a reality which we are very, very close to have countries that are capable of manufacturing technologies like that. And it seems like the only country in the world capable of doing that is none other than China. Yes, China is the powerhouse of the world. China is the manufacturer of the world. China is more advanced in the world in terms of manufacturing robotics and drones. And they are also capable of developing artificial intelligence. You would understand why the people who were saying artificial intelligence is dangerous, we must be cautious, what they meant when they said that. They were not crazy. They were not just trying to prevent the world from moving on, but this was the threat that they were seeing. And also when the United States of America is trying to stop China from developing ahead of itself in artificial intelligence, because they are scared of things like this, because now China is the biggest manufacturer. In fact, China is number one, the leading nation in manufacturing of robotics and drones. In fact, the United States of America depends on China on the manufacturing of these technologies. So you would understand why Trump might be concerned if this is what he means and what he's thinking about when he says letting China becoming the manufacturer and we just depend on them. It's a national security threat to us. I think if this is what they are thinking about, it is understandable. I completely understand, because China is the only country in the world which is capable of doing that, of manufacturing millions and millions of drones, millions and millions of robots, and power them with artificial intelligence and actually use them for military purposes and deploy them to your country and destroy the whole population. So the threat to the United States of America is real. I understand why the panic is there, because the United States of America has literally become a consumer economy and a services economy. And that leads me to the conclusion that I made in my previous video. The United States of America cannot be the superpower of the world. I do not believe it. I think it's propaganda, because it's a consumer economy and it's a services economy. How is it possible that we are calling it a superpower of the world while they depend heavily on China for manufacturing?